And just before we begin, I know that a lot of you usually see me in my branded t-shirt, Luminous Consciousness, but today is a special day for any Arsenal supporter. And if you are a sports fan, you know what it means when your team wins. And Arsenal has been waiting for the last 22 years to clinch to the title of the English Premier League. So we won it yesterday, and that is why I'm wearing this. So if you are a Ghana, if you're an Arsenal fan anywhere in the world, congratulations to you. On the 30th of May, we are going to win the Champions League as well. And that's going to be the icing on the cake. This is the biggest one that we were waiting for. So we are very excited, and that is why I'm in this T shirt today. So once again, congrats, Gunners, and um, thank you very much for tuning in today. Today we are going to talk about workflows. Last week, if you were here, we talked about uh, DocuSign, and the title of that video was something that, if you are a business owner who sends out email signature requests, invoices, and all that. Once you get them, you can add them in a workflow automation. And that is to trigger, let's say, to send the client or the lead your calendar, or you have to onboard them or send a message to a member of your team to take care of that client. So that was the first layer, and that part, the title of that video is we had it last week, and the title is all inside Go High Level, close deals faster, sign contract, and ditch expensive tools. And the main tool that we discussed was DocuSign. So Sandrine has dropped the title of the video, and she's going to add the link as well, so you can click it and bookmark it. Once we finish this, you can always go back to watch it, because that will make sense why we are going to do this workflow. So without wasting any time, let's dig into the slides. As usual, you know how we do this class. This is more like a full classroom lesson. This is not your typical YouTube video where you have 10, 15 minutes where somebody talks. This is different. This is more like a classroom settings where we go through the slides. You understand why certain things are done. I explain them. I'm not a gatekeeper. I try to make sure that I share whatever I know in my business, whatever is working, to other businesses, and most importantly, to other tech professionals who are burnout and are looking to start their own consulting firm in the AI space. So, without wasting any time, let's dig into it. So, the title for today's session is Automate Your Business in 5 minutes with one sentence. And this might sound like too good to be true, but we live in the era of natural language kind of coding, right? It's called vibe coding. You just tell the AI what you want in natural language, and then it will just build everything out for you. And you just have to have a conversation with it to tweak it to get it the way you want it. So, yeah, we're going to go into that before the end of this lesson. What you're going to learn is you are going to know how to start a workflow, how to put a workflow together, workflow automation that is going to make things so easier for you in your business. And you don't have to repeat this every time that you have to take care of a lead or something in the business, because these things are very important, but at the same time they steal time away from you. Instead of you focusing on what brings money into the business, you'll be focusing on administrative stuff that takes or steal your time. And if you have to hire somebody to do it, I'm going to show you the numbers and how much it's going to cost you if you don't implement this in your business. So this is really important. I build workflows all the time. Anything that I do it twice, three times in a week, I make sure that I automate it so that I can sit back, set it up once, and then it can operate so many times that you want. And who am I? My name is Eric Baykes, and I run a digital marketing agency in South Florida, and I help IT companies with their lead acquisition pipelines by helping them with Meta ads, Facebook ads, and also with AI implementation for various workflows in their business. And I can help other businesses doing the same thing. It's the same framework, it's just different niches. So if you're a business owner who needs AI implementation, you need AI footprints in your business, you know who to talk to when it comes to that. So let's get into it right away. So before we start, I know most of my audience are in two categories or in two different groups, right? The first group is burnout professionals who are tech professionals who are just tired of the corporate world and are looking for ways to start their own AI business, just as I did back about 3, 4 years ago. And also, if you are a business owner, and you are juggling with different tools. You are paying so much money for different tools, and you have all these logins and different platforms that you use. And then this is really good for you because what I'm going to show you today is a tool that has a lot of tools and all are under one umbrella and they are all kind of communicate connected to each other, so it makes communication between these tools very easy, and you're gonna save a lot of money between 1,500 to maybe 3,000 depending on the size of your business. So yes, if you are a tech professional who is burnout, you're spending too many hours, or maybe you are already building your consulting firm and you didn't know that this AI feature has been introduced in Go High Level, or anybody who is using Go High Level but doesn't know that this AI feature has been added or the AI layer has been added to workflows, then this is for you. Once you see this video, you can implement this easily in your workflows and it's going to make things very easy for you. For me, I was spending about 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, sometimes the whole day trying to build workflows, and that was a big pain. And I've lost an employee just because of workflow because I asked him to work on workflows and the logic behind it was so crazy at that time. The AI layer was, they were rolling the AI layer, but he just got overwhelmed with workflows and it's very daunting at times. And now this AI layer or this AI agent makes it so easy to build workflows. So let's get into that and see what we can do. So the old ways of building workflows or automation, is costing you more than you can think of, right? It's costing you a lot of hours, man hours that could be channeled into something that could bring income. Is a passive way of bringing income to the business, but you as a business owner, you want to focus on the active stuff that brings, like talking to clients, getting people on phone and taking payments or all those kind of stuff, right? These things are very important, but they are administrative stuff that takes a lot of time away from you if you are doing them yourself. And if you have to hire somebody to do this for you, it's going to cost you anything from $500 to $2,000 a month, whether you are paying a developer to do it with other tools like Zapier or Make, or N8N, or you might be paying a VA to do this for you. And from statistics, we know that 67% of automations that start never finish, right? We never finish them because it's so complicated and it doesn't fire properly and it takes too much time, and so a lot of them have so many workflows that are just sitting in the draft and they never publish them. So the old way of building automation means that you have to remember dozens of triggers and action combinations, hiring somebody who speaks the technical language. And for me, even me from a software background, it wasn't easy for me because the logic behind it, if else, all those things, right? If this happens, what must happen? And if that doesn't happen, this must happen, and this and that. It's all confusing, and you need to crack your brains. And if you are not your mind is not settled enough, you cannot really pull this one off. You always have to walk away and come back when your mind is calm before you can. But now you can just do this within minutes, within 5 minutes, 30 seconds, 1 minute, depending on how complex the workflow is, right? You have to hire somebody to do this. You spend days testing to make sure that it works before you go live. And it's like starting all over every time that you want to build a workflow. And if you could do this, in plain English, you just telling what is going to happen or what you want to do, then it's a big game changer. So usually this is how it works. With AI feature or the AI workflow builder, what does is that you describe what you want, and then the AI agent builds it. Sometimes it gets it right, and you review it. If you are happy with it, you just activate it, publish, and you are live. And right away, you are ready in production, and this can start working, without you waiting. And just a little disclaimer here. If you go to Go High Level, and I'm going to show you that in a minute, it's in the beta stages. And so they are still testing it. One thing I love about Go High Level is that they are always improving every single week. They are dripping updates. They are dripping new features. They are dripping and dripping and dripping, even with the AI feature that they add. They have this AI agent. When it started, I was telling one of my employees that, it doesn't accept audio, and it doesn't accept images, screenshots, and all that. But I know within the next week they're gonna have it, and boom, within the next week, I think it was 3 days after. Now they've added the audio feature where you can just talk to it, and it will just take your prompts, or you can now. And last week they also rolled out a new feature where you can upload screenshot, and it makes things very easy. So let's say you are working on a workflow and you are stuck and you don't know what to do, you can just screenshot that workflow and then give it to your AI, and the AI can tell you what you have to do to make those changes. So these things are making things easier and easier, and there's no complaint that you have this tool and you are not utilizing it, or you are using another tool, you're doing things manually, you wanna adapt this tool and use it, because that is going to save you a lot of money plus a lot of man hours. So we describe it, AI builds it, we review it, and we activate it. And so, one tool, infinite automations, right? When it comes to Go High Level has been a tool that I've been using for over maybe 6 years now, since 2017, 2018. And it has a lot of tools that I don't even use, right? So now, if I want to buy a new tool, what I do is I go to the support website, and I just do a research to see if they have that tool in there. And most often than not, 9 out of 10, I will always find that tool in there, because I think Go High Level wants to take that share of the market, the tools market, and they are building, adding new tools, new features into their tool all the time. So, if you have Zapier, you will be paying between 50 to 299, depending on the kind of automations that you are using, the workflow builder that you are using, because it all goes with the number of calls and the number of workflows you have. And the more you use this tool, the more they charge you, right? If you hire VA, to set up things for you. Like sometimes, I want something, I need it so quickly, I have to hire somebody from Fiverr or something like that. The one-time fee, it's like maybe $100 or $200, right? Just to work on an automation for me, maybe connect a Facebook page, Facebook form to my CRM to go high level, and we have to use Zapier or Make or N8N just for these tools to communicate together. Now we don't have this problem anymore. You can do everything in Go High Level. So you ditch the Zapier or Make or N8N. You can ditch your guy from Fiverr, because you can even use the AI to help you to build this. So you are saving between $300 to $800 a month. If you have to hire an experienced developer to be building this for you in-house, you are looking between $500 to $2,000 a month. And if you have to get all these campaigns together, these are all different tools I'm talking about. If you have to put all of them together using something like active campaign automation, that is going to cost you a minimum of $93 to $400 a month. And with Go High Level, it's only $97 a month, and you have all this suite of tools and the tools that I've been talking about in the past. You know that every week I talk about a different tool, or a different tool within Go High Level. So roughly, people are saving up to about 1,500, 3,500 every month for just the tools, the suite of tools that they can get in Go High Level. For me, it's about 15 to 1800. It goes up and down depending on what I'm doing. I drop some tools and all that kind of stuff, and I'm still dropping tools subscriptions. I find out that it's in Go High Level, or now Go High Level has that feature, I drop that too. So these are the advantages of having a tool like Go High Level. And let me give you an example of some of the use cases for automations and workflows. So let's say you get a lead, you capture a lead, and you want to follow up with them. If you have a business that gets a lot of inquiries from leads, and you have to do this manually, the minimum or even the fastest way to get them is at least within like 30 minutes to 1 hour. That is when you are very efficient doing this manually. With automations, it's instantly. It happens instantly once they submit a form or they make a payment or something like that. Whatever you want to happen is going to happen immediately. You don't have to wait. You don't have to let your VA wait. You set it once, and then that it works forever. Appointment booking. So let's say you have a hair salon, or you are a plumber, or you are a dentist. Somebody books an appointment. What kind of flow do you want them to go through, and how are you going to track this lead or this customer in your business? You can move them in different swim lanes, in different pipelines, to know where each customer is or where each lead is in the process, whether they just signed up, they are in consultation, or maybe they are in onboarding and maybe they close their deal, or they are past clients waiting for a review. All these things, you can use this automation to put them in different swim lanes so that you can know where each client or each lead is in the process. You can review contract like we did yesterday. We review contract. Once the contract is signed, workflows can get activated, because every workflow has a trigger. It can get activated, and then boom, things start happening. You can review requests after a job completion, all this stuff. So think about it. You can go wild with your thoughts. Think about what you can do in your business. What is the workflow in your business? Start thinking along those lines, and have this in a simple one sentence, and then you tell the AI, this is what I want. If a client signs up, this is what happens. I want you to do this, I want you to do that, and it's going to build that workflow for you. Like, it's insane, and that is crazy. Other workflows that you can think about is like onboarding sequence triggered by a payment. If somebody makes a payment and you have to move them to onboarding, schedule an appointment and all that, re-engagement of campaigns for cold leads. Let's say you have a database of 2,000 clients and you want to reactivate them, run some promotion. This is something that you use to do that. Team notifications. How do you assign jobs to your team members? If, let's say, I can say that, okay, if somebody signs from, let's say, the Baykes Cloud forms, I want to assign it to Wendy, right? And if somebody fills a form from Luminous Consciousness, I want to assign it to Sandrine, right? So I can use workflow to distribute work or tasks to my team members. And it could be a VA, right? Who is not even part of the business. They are going to receive an email. So there's so much you can do. There's no, that the sky is kind of the limit as to what you can do with workflows. And this is all that it takes. You just, I have some sample prompts here. So let's say the prompt one is talking about when someone fills out a contact form, you add them as a lead, send a welcome text and email and notify my team. This is all that you need to do. You don't have to build any complex charts or flows. It's going to do everything for you. Just watch whilst it builds it, and we are going to do that in a few minutes. And what is going to happen is that it's going to build a form submitted trigger, and then create that contact, send SMS, text message, and also send an email, and then notify the internal team with a text message, an email, or just a system notification. This is about 5 steps. It takes only 30 seconds. This is like the easiest workflow you can ever build. It will take you maybe an hour or maybe two. If you're an experienced guy, maybe 30 minutes. But this happens within 30 seconds. The second one is when an opportunity moves to a proposal sent stage. So let's say somebody is interested in your offer, you send them a proposal and you can move them into a different swim lane, as I explained. And then let's say you can say that, if they don't respond to the email or they don't open the email, resend the email in 48 hours, maybe in 2 hours, whatever works for you. And this is going to build a pipeline stage changed, right? That is going to be the trigger. And then send that document is going to wait 48 hours. And then it uses this condition, if else condition, to check whether the email was sent or not, and it will follow up. If that person hasn't responded or they haven't signed the document, it's going to check this in the system. And this is why it's so important that you have all these things in one tool, so that it is not going to be like an API call to an external tool and all that. This is all happening under one roof. So if, let's say, the if and else condition checks and the person hasn't signed that contract, then you're going to send them an email or a text message or maybe even a call, and the system can trigger a call and then connect you. Once that person connects, it connects you. There's so much you can do. And for the prompt 3, let's say after a client pays an invoice, send a thank you email, tag them as active clients, and book a kickoff call automatically. So in this same scenario, this person just paid an invoice, which is similar to what we did, the demo we did last week. And once they do that, they get a trigger, get the workflow triggered, and this also happens within 30 seconds. So every single one of those was built with just 1 second, one sentence, right? All this is just one sentence, and everything happens automatically under a minute, and you can go live. Once you review, you are happy with it, you go live. Sometimes you have to do a few things to really make sure that all the information you are looking is in there. And also, just to give you this disclaimer, there are certain things that the AI cannot do because Go High Level is still working on it. So there are certain API calls that it cannot do. Like when you use the Ask AI agent to build this for you on the chat, it's not going to be able to do it. You have to go into the workflow app itself. But if it becomes available, if the AI agent, the Ask AI agent is able to connect to API calls, then it can build it even from a prompt without you going into the actual workflow app. And I'm going to show you that. So, one quick thing before we go live, you're already thinking that I need this set up for my business or I want to offer this to other businesses, you are in the right place. And so, if you are a tech professional and you are tired of the corporate world, or you are interested in starting your own AI consulting business, I have a 6 week program where I run you through that 6 week program. We come up with your idea, we polish it, and then we work on how you can use this to run your own consulting business. And I'm going to talk more about that in the end. And also, there is an AI quiz here that you can take to see how ready you are with AI, and you can test drive that and see how ready you are with the AI. It takes only 60 seconds to do this. And if you want this to be done for you, or you are interested in getting Go High Level, Sandrine is going to drop the affiliate link over there. And a quick disclaimer here. I am an affiliate of Go High Level, so I get a low commission when you sign up, and I want to be transparent about that. I'm not just pushing something that I don't believe in. I use Go High Level. I've been using it for so many years now, and I use it, and you're gonna see that, if you've been coming to these classes, you know that I preach and eat Go High Level. And so if you want to work with me, you can also book a 30 minutes free discovery call. We can talk about your business, or we can talk about how you want to start your own AI consulting business. So now we are about to go to the live demo, and you know that this is where I enjoy, showing what we talked about. Right now, we finished with the theory part. Now we are going to get our hands dirty. This is my favorite part. We don't just talk about it, but we walk the talk. So let's get into it and dig it. So let me share my screen right away. So, as usual, you always want to go into, this is the Go High Level account, and this is my demo account for demo purposes. So, if you are here, all that you need to do is to be on your automation app. This is it. So on the left hand side, you have automation. This is where all the workflows are built, right? So you click on automation, and that takes you to the workflow app and the dashboard. Now, this is a clean virgin workflow dashboard. That means that there is no dashboard. I mean, there's no automations here. And the reason why I'm showing this to you is that I want you to see how, or the options that you have, because the moment we create a workflow, it's going to look different. And so this is a good opportunity to show you what is possible, what is available in the workflow app. Now, once you get here, you have the AI app, and it says beta, right? So beta, better, what a that tells you that they are still testing it, improving it. So that means that they are still not even finished. It's still gonna get better and better and better, right? Over here, you have the need lead nurturing, form automation, email campaigns. So if you want to do email campaigns, you can use this template. So they've made it even easier for you. You don't have to think about it. If you know what you want to do, lead nurturing. If you want to nurture a lead is someone, a prospect who hasn't purchased or become a customer yet. So this is how you nurture them. Maybe you educate them, give them, answer all their FAQs and their fears, their doubts about you or your business or about everything in general, right? You want to be there for this lead for them to convert into a client or a customer. So there are templates like that you can use. Once you click on this, it's going to give you that. You're just going to look at the actions within those workflow and then add or customize it to your liking. If somebody fills forms the same way, email campaigns, if you are dripping email campaigns every week, this is something that you can use. And if you want more, you can even do that over here. There are a lot of templates here like email drip sequence, appointment confirmation, great for this is fast 5 light. This is great for leads into, nurturing leads into hot leads by automation, long-term nurture. And this is like if you have clients already and you want to be giving them evergreen newsletters, like every week you send them something valuable, information, news, whatever, FAQs and all that kind of stuff. This replies automatically. Come on, guys, this is so crazy. So if people ask questions, this workflow or automation is just going to respond to them automatically, and you cannot get this anywhere. And there are more templates over here, but when you scroll down here, you can also get more of these things here, more education. These are like quick videos that you can really watch, and it tells you about introduction to workflows. It's going to teach you something similar to what I'm doing. I'm going very deep, but this is like the quick things that you need to get started. So workflow recipes, how to build recipes, building a workflow from scratch and all that. And then you have these templates here. So you can come here, there's a template library. You can come in here and then see which one you want. If it's about communication, there are about 8 of them, and they all tell you communication recipe for emails, FAQs, recipe for missed call, text back. These are all things that every business uses or every business can use. IVR, that is if you want to set something like if you want to talk to, let's say the HR department, press one, right? This is the IVR. A webinar registration, Facebook Messenger. If somebody messages you on Facebook, you want to automate that because you can babysit that thing. This is like crazy. If somebody sends you something on Google Business Profile, this is going to respond to them automatically. And there's so much you can filter and pick which one you want. And guys, it's so much, and you can preview. Once you preview, you're going to see like a bird's eye view of how it looks like. Let me blow this up a little bit so you can see how big it looks like. Oh no, it's not doing it the way I want it. Yeah, it's not, the canvas is not getting bigger, but anyways, I will show you a bigger canvas. This is a preview, that is why. But it shows you on a high level, bird's eye view, what is happening. Like this is the trigger. The trigger is there, the email, and then the wait time and the conditions, and so many things are happening, right? This is all automated and it's all hands off. So let me go back to my regular screen. And so that is just an overview of the dashboard for workflows. And before, um, this is the overview. So this one gives you the statistics of what is happening. I'm going to show you a real one in my business, what is happening on this. And yeah, maybe I have to show that instead. So here I have more workflows. I have a lot of workflows, and all these workflows, a lot of them are working. and they make things so easier for me, so we don't have to touch anything. And the overview here tells you about how many workflows you have in total. So I have 111 workflows. Out of them, some are off and some are published. 57 of them are published. I have 4,100 people in total enrollment. And when you get down here, it also gives you, these are all statistics, and you can change the dates and the numbers are going to change. So that gives you an overview of what is happening behind the scenes. And then there's the global settings where you can set things up so that you don't have to touch them on the funnel or the workflow level. You can do it global, right? And we are using the standard builder. If for people who are advanced, you can do this. I always put it here because it's already a complicated thing. And why do I want to make it? But if you are doing complex stuff, then you want to be on the advanced builder tab. And also giving permissions between sub accounts and admins and all that, email notifications, who has to receive email notifications when something happens in the workflow. You can put and add more people in your staff, in your business. You can add more people here to receive that. Do you want to turn it autosave on? Yes, you want this, because what happens is if you are building a workflow and something happens, your computer shuts down or something happens, if you don't have this on, you've lost everything, right? So you want to have it auto save. So every time you build, it saves it automatically. If something happens and you don't save, it's still going to be there in the draft. Otherwise, you are screwed. Okay. And once you come here, you can pause some of them instead of going into it. Let's say you have, I have 101 campaigns, campaigns or workflows. If I have to go in one by one and turn them off, it's going to be a lot of work. So I can come here, put dates as to which ones I want to turn off, and then I can select them over here, and then I can say that pause them for a year, or I can, give them whatever. So this is the overview, and also this is the part that you turn the AI on. And so a lot of people complain that I don't see, mine doesn't have the AI feature, it doesn't have this, it doesn't have that. Most people don't even, most of the videos I see on YouTube don't even talk about this global settings and the overview. So if you have GoHighLevel and you don't see the AI building feature in your workflow app, then this is why you need to be on the global workflow settings in order to, and then you turn this switch on so that you can have the AI. So enough of the talking. Let's see how we can build one right now. I was gonna build it on this, but I was gonna build it on the demo. But the reason is that some of the things that I want to build, I don't have those things here, like the forms, or there are certain assets that I need to make this complete so that I can give you that good value, and I don't have them here. So let me use the real account to do that. So first of all, once you get here, right, you have all these things here. If you are working on similar workflows for like one thing or one campaign, you can put them in a folder to organize your stuff. So here, as you can see, Manu AI Manu's agent, I have one of my agents, and I have a lot of workflows in there. So there are different workflows and they are all under one umbrella. So it makes it very organized, easy to find, right? But this one, I'm going to build a demo one. So once you get here, you have this option, build using AI. And this is what we are talking about. This is what this demo is about. You use this feature, or you can go to create workflow, and you have different options here. So you can start from scratch, or you can use the build using AI, which is the same as this, or you can select from the templates that I showed you, or you can even import from another campaign. So it may be one of these campaigns, I like it, I just want to clone it, I can import from that campaign. And you can even use company-based workflow that is more advanced. So I'm not going to go into that now, but this is the feature that we want. Now, even if you go to start from scratch, which I'm going to show you if you click on this, it's still going to give you the option to build using AI. So let's go into this build with AI. I can click this or I can click that. Let's click on this one. Now, once you click on it, it gives you the dashboard. You just have to type whatever you want, right? So what you want to automate, and it's still in the beta stage. So sometimes it gets it wrong, a little bit of hallucination, but most often than not, I would say that maybe 90% of the time it gets it right. If it doesn't get it right, you can do manual. Now it's better than using 2 3 hours to figure this out as opposed to using 5 minutes or 2 minutes just to fix this. So this is a big game changer, and I'm grateful that they are still working on this. This is perfect for me, but the fact that it's still in the beta state means that it's even going to get better, and they might even have the API connected to it. So now it can be API calls. You can just tell it in the chat, and then you just sit there, and before you know, it's done, because the API calls are able to build certain things for you in the back end without you lifting a finger. You just telling the AI what you want. You can just speak and it will build it for you, but you don't do that here. That is on another app that you can do that within GoHighLevel. So here I have prepared my prompt that I'm going to share with you right now. So let me bring this here and share this one. Let's see. Or let me, what I'm going to do, let me pull it instead and put it here. All right. So right. So the use case scenario, right? Someone fills a form. So for this demo, someone fills out a form right now. What happens? Most businesses do nothing, right? They don't do anything. Somebody will go later, 30 minutes later, if they are very efficient, or 1 hour later, to go and see the lead. Sometimes you miss it. People, we are human beings, right? We miss stuff. Things do happen, and then before you know, the next day starts and it keeps on piling up, and you are going to drop a lot of leads into the cracks, and that is leaving money on the table. So it says that until someone manually follows up, by then the lead has gone cold. If you don't contact the lead within the first 5 minutes, they are gone. Your competition has taken them. So you get them when you are lucky, right? Or you have an offer that is so good that they cannot resist. So that is why this is so important, especially first impressions. You want to give your clients, your leads, first impressions that you are a company that they can rely on. So let's say we want to create something, somebody submit something. So we want to create a workflow called client flow. Every workflow has a name. So we want to create a workflow called client flow. When someone submits a contact form, tag them as new lead, send an email, wait 5 minutes, send a follow up SMS, notify my team internally, send a payment link, and send a calendar link to book their onboarding call. This is things that it can take you the whole day to do it. Now, if we can set this up, even if you take 3 hours to set this up once, it's worth it, right? But let's copy this. This is natural language, one sentence prompt that you can use, and you can drop this in the AI, and the AI is going to work it for you. And I'm going to give you a pro tip. And like I said, I check so many YouTube videos. Nobody is even teaching this, but I'm going to give you another pro tip of how you can even make this efficient if you still have issues with it. And sometimes, if the tool, I believe that when it's going under this update and all that, it hallucinates a little bit more. And so when I'm having those issues, there's another thing that I do, and I'll show you that in a minute. So we come back to this workflow, and I'm just going to drop it there, right? This is the prompt, and I'm going to drop it there, and I'm just going to hit enter, and let's see the magic happen. So this is happening. Last time it's 11:46 right now, and let's see. It opens the build window here where you can have a chat with it, right? So it might ask you certain questions. Let's say if you have 10 different calendars in there and you want to use a calendar, it's going to ask you which calendar do you want to use. It cannot come up and just go and pick any calendar. So that is also a good thing. So once you hit this, it's going to ask you. Right now, I said in part of my prompt, I said that I wanted to notify um, internal notification to notify me or my staff that there's somebody who just filled a form or something like that. So internal email, do you want to send an internal SMS or a Slack message? You can do so much. I want to send an internal email, maybe SMS, whatever. I would say internal email, and then that's cool, right? Now if you have questions, if it's doing something that you don't understand, you can always come here and chat with it, have a conversation with it. If something is not working, you can ask it to do it, or you can come to the build stage and it's going to do that for you. Now it's just working and it's just building. And this is the canvas here. Um, I hope you can see everything. You can use this to zoom in and zoom out. Whilst it's doing that, let me take you through the navigation buttons here. Here, you can give it notes that you want. If you have some information, maybe this is a workflow for whatever notes that you want to put in. Here is anytime there is an error, it flags and lets you know that there is an error in there. Here is the stats view for this particular workflow. Um, Sticky notes. You know what sticky notes are. Here, if you want to switch the workflow, right? So we have 111 in this workflow. Now, maybe I'm done with this, or I want to go check something in another workflow. Instead of going back, I can just do this and pick one of the workflows that I already have in here. It's a very cool feature that you don't have to go back. And then you want to find something and replace, it's here. History version, okay, let's say you build it and something happens and you made a mistake, or the version that you had before is what you want, you can always go back to that version. It's always version. Every time you save, it's versioned. And then you have the AI workflow again. If I want to open it, I can open it again. Now it opens it up, and let's see what it starts done. So it says that the trigger contact form submitted, it fires when a new lead submits. It even goes to the extent of explaining what it has done, right? New lead tag, welcome, 5 minutes wait, send, all the actions that we ask it to do. It puts everything in there. I can ask it questions, say, for instance, so how does this work, right? And it's going to answer. I can have conversation. If there is an error, it says everything is good, but if there is an error, I can ask it and it's going to tell me everything that I need to know. So guys, we started this 11:46, and by 11:47, 11:48, it had finished. Just 1.5 minutes, it was done, right? Now, if we come here, the trigger was form submitted. So here, we just have to come in here, and if we have so many forms, we want to select which ones, because the API, I said the API calls are not able to do this as of now. Now, look at this. It has already named the workflow new lead notification workflow. It named it for us. This is the trigger. I can go in there and then I can select my form, the form that I'm talking about. So let's go in and complete this trigger. So here we say form selected trigger, what kind of form. I'm going to add the filter, and then I can go here and I can say the form is, right? There are so many things I can select, but the form is, I have so many forms. So which one? Okay, let's say we are talking about MSP client intake form. So I select this form and then I will save the trigger. Now, if I am, what is going to happen, because you want to really identify all your clients in the pipeline, all your prospects in the pipeline. So we have a new lead tag here. It has created the tag already. This is not something that I came in to create it. It created a new tag, right? This is automatic. And so here it has created a new lead tag, and it also gives you the explanation of the action on top. So if you are looking at the best eye view, you know what action is it. You don't have to open this to see, right? We can cancel this. And then here is the email. The email part, is sending the email to the internal email, right? Well, this is going to the client. So, welcome to our service. And then you can put an optional thing here. You put your name or whatever email that your name. I can put Eric, Eric J. And then I can put my email here. All this, it wants you to populate it because, like I said, the API is not able to do this yet. But that is a huge time saver. It has already drafted the email. Thank you for reaching out to us. We are excited to have opportunity. Now, if it knows your brand and it knows how you have to frame it, you can add all of that. So maybe you don't want to say this kind of stuff. You can put that message in there for it to say that. And then best regards, username, user signature. And that is the default for me, my name and my email signature. And that is it. We save this action and then we wait 5 minutes. The wait action is a time delay. You can either do number of days, we are waiting 5 minutes. We can either wait minutes, we can wait hours, we can wait days. So that is that. We send up a follow-up SMS to text message, and it also has the message in there already. Confirm, and then internal notification. This is where the message comes to me or to any of my staff, and I can select which one, and it says new lead submitted. So that lets you know that something has happened and you have to really pay attention to that. And then we send the customer or the person a payment link, and here what kind of payments are you sending. So you have your payment link already, which is already shown here in a variable which you have already input in your custom variables, right? That is another thing that we can talk about, like the client first name, it pulls the name. The payment link is going to put the payment link that you have created. So if you have different payments link, you have to, at that point, you have to, specify which payment link, because you may have so many different products. And so that is sends them a payment link, and then you send them a calendar. Right here, for instance, we are sending them a calendar, and the same thing, we will put the calendar that we want. Right, the calendar link, this is going to use the default calendar link which is connected to Zoom, so I don't even have to do anything here. It will just send this to them right away. Boom, and that is done. So this is how you create a workflow, and you can do this with any other thing. Now, once you do this, all that you need to do is to click publish. And once you click publish, you save it, and this is live. That's it. This is going to work anytime somebody submits a form, and that form is MSP AI appointment machine. That form is going to trigger. Once they submit, it's going to trigger, and they'll go through this process automatically. So, guys, if this was valuable, let me get some ones in there, show some love. Let me know if this is really hitting home. This is something that you can implement in your business tomorrow, now. Let me know in the chat. If you have any questions, let me know. Thank you, Felix. Wow, this is really a time saver. Yes, of course, it's a time saver. It's going to save you a lot of time. And so, yeah, let me show you, let me give you a pro tip of what you can do if this is something that is giving you a lot of headache. The same prompt that we use, we are going to go to another feature, which is the Ask AI agent. This is an agent. It's a Claude 4.6 sonnet, and so it's just that the highest for daily assignments. And if you want to ask this, let's say the same prompt, I can say that, can you give me the same prompt? Can you please give me a step by step action for the workflow AI agent. So this is the Ask AI agent, which is like your personal assistant, just asking, responding to your questions, when you're doing research and all that. This is also part of your package. Now, if I want this, and maybe it's a complex one, if you have a complex workflow and it's giving you a lot of hallucinations or whatever it is, sometimes it does, it's AI, it's still not perfect, it's in the better stages. But all that you need to do is to come to the Ask AI, you drop in this, you ask it to build you a step by step. And what this is going to do is that it's going to even break it further down, so you can just copy the whole instruction step by step, action one and two. And if you want to know how or learn how to build this manually, I recommend that always, you know how to do something manually. So when the AI gets it wrong, then you can fix it. This is how you can learn building automations manually yourself. And I always recommend that people learn it this way, because sometimes if you don't know something, you don't have that domain knowledge and the AI makes a mistake, there's no way for you to know whether it's a mistake or not. So this helps you to know and learn how to build these things yourself if you have the time. And you can copy this, and it gives you like the setup, the automation, the trigger. You can copy all this, right? Here is a complete la 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 la, whatever. You can copy this whole thing. You can copy this whole thing up to, let's say, here, and then you copy this, and then you give it to the AI, and it's going to do, if we have to start all afresh, it's going to build it again. So if we come here, I mean, if we drop this in here, it's not going to build it, because it's going to say that this is already created. But we just have to put it here in the builder, and it's going to do the same thing for us. And if you have to build this yourself, then you can have this, you follow the steps step by step. You always start with a trigger. Once you start with a trigger, what are you doing? Maybe contact created, maybe payment received, maybe appointment booked, right? Order form submitted, maybe appointment booked, right? There's so much service booking. There's so much triggers you can use. And once you pick that, then, you can, this is going to be the trigger, and that is going to take you through the whole process. So I hope this was really valuable to you. And this is like a build up of what we did last week. So get to fuse the two together, and this is going to really make sense to you, sending documents to people, and sending invoices to people when they pay. You don't want to be sending them manual receipts and all that. Automate stuff, guys. We are in 2026. You don't want to be doing things manually. So I hope this was valuable, this was great, and you are going to implement this in your business tomorrow. And here we go once again. This is what we just did, under 5 minutes, even though we used only like 1 minute, 1.5 minutes to build this workflow, even though I've been explaining things, but we described the automation in plain English, and then we watch GoHighLevel build it under 30 seconds, right? It just happened. It was less than a minute, even though everything was put together, because I was talking, but this thing happened so fast that it's crazy. And we reviewed it, we edited it, we input the information that we want, all the bits and pieces. It didn't take us even more than 2 minutes. We published it, activated it. You can see the live workflow. We can even test it. I can show you how to test things even before you go live. And we've proved that one sentence is all it takes to implement this. So now if you are in a workflow and you want to test it, especially like, let's say, for example, the email, you can scroll down here and there's a test and you can put your email, you send the test, you're going to see how the email is going to look like when you send it to your client and all that. So it's not like you do things and you don't know. Every time I build a workflow, subscribe to that workflow first before I go live. So I see what is happening. Now, sometimes things do happen, but and then here, this is very important. I'm glad that I just remembered this. On the settings page, you can allow just one entry or you can allow re-entry. So let's say depending on the campaign that somebody has to enter this again, maybe yes, if it's about payment, maybe you have different products, they can come in every time, or you are going to send them payment because it's not just one payment. Maybe they are on a monthly subscription, so you want them to re-enter into this campaign every time they make a payment. Allow multiple opportunities. Stop response. So, what do you want to do when somebody takes an action? If they make the payment or they book their call before they end, do you want to stop it? What do you want to do? The time zone, you want to set this. And usually, if you are somebody who works Monday to Friday, then you want to make sure that your emails are not going out within a certain time. You can do Monday to Sunday, which means that when the time is up, whether it's a Sunday or Monday or Tuesday, you're gonna send it. It's up to you. And the email, you can set it on the global level or you can set it on the campaign level or the workflow level, and the same thing. Enrollment history, this is where you see everybody in the workflow. So if you have 1,000 people, and you can see like when their next execution is going to happen. So I'm not gonna show that, it's gonna take some time, but you will see that, okay, client A just received um, their first email. The next time the action happens, it's in the next 2 days and all that. If you don't want it to happen, you can stop that. And then this is where you can see all the log, everything that is happening. So this is very important. I'm glad that I remembered this part, because this is how you debug, or when something goes wrong, you want to be on the settings and see where issues are happening. Even though you have your assistants here to help you, you also want to be able to look into things yourself. So that is that. Let's go down here. So, guys, as usual, if you are interested in Go High Level, you can sign up for 14 days free without a credit card. They can even increase it to 30 days if you really love the tool. This is a suite of tools. You have 30 plus different tools in there. If you're a business owner, you are not using this tool, you are missing out. You are leaving a lot of money on the table. So, uh, grab the link and test it out for 2 weeks. Play with it. If you like it, I know you're gonna love it, but play with it and see if you're gonna love it. And also, if you are a business owner who wants to get this implemented for you and build more workflows depending on what you have in your business, we will be happy to talk to you and help you out with setting up your workflows. And if you are a tech professional who is tired of the corporate world and you want to start your own business, I have this program that we go through. The cohort starts in June 4th. It's going to be weekly nights, and this is where we give you a blueprint of how to start your own business. And these are the things that we are going to talk about. And let me go through with you. The week one is where we talk about clarity, know exactly where you are going. So you are a tech professional, you are a project manager, you are product owner, you are an IT security person, you are a DevOps engineer, you have a lot of knowledge and you are just tired of corporate. And also with AI coming, a lot of jobs are going to go, whether we like it or not. It's not like it's going to happen next year, next week. It's already happened in the last 2 years. Every year, people are getting laid off because AI is doing all the basic stuff and the repetitive stuff, and you have to leverage on AI to really benefit from it. But you cannot just talk about, it's taking my job and play the victim game. Otherwise, you're going to lose. Um, let's take, for instance, you are a video editor and there's a video editing tool out there. That video editing tool is not going to take your job, but it's rather going to make you edit more videos in a day than you traditionally do. And the other, video editor who is complaining about all video creators, all creators using buying this tool and using it is going to lose because he's scared of AI. He thinks that every person or every creator who makes videos, they are going to buy this tool to use it, and so he doesn't even learn how to use this tool. But the guy who bought that AI tool is now editing 5 videos in a day instead of a week. So that is how you have to think about AI. You have so much domain knowledge that you can leverage on and build on it to become a consultant where you can charge. Within 3 months, you can be charging what you actually earn within the whole year. And so, this is something that we teach over here. We give you the blueprint. So, we tell you how to identify your unique advantage based on your background. You choose your path: consulting, freelancing, or agency, and the realistic timeline and all that kind of stuff. And the second week is where we talk about the mindset, the fear before it kills your dream. We all are humans and we all have mortgages, we have families that we want to take off. So jumping off is really, scary. And we talk about mindset and how to do this safely. And we talk about the fear and also the risk involved. The failure is data, it's not a disaster. And we build confidence through the action and not just sitting there thinking about it and wishing, right? Week three is where we talk about positioning to be the go-to AI expert. So you want to know what kind of AI solution you are going to give to your client. So packaging your tech skills into an offer people can pay for, what to charge and why tech pros consistently undercharge. The one-page AI offer: simple, clear, and compelling. We talk about the 30-second elevator pitch as an AI consultant or freelancer, and then you start testing your offer whilst you are still employed. We are not going to say that leave your job and then start this. You do this safely. And then we talk about, having your digital presence. A lot of people don't have a proper digital presence. They are a generalist. You want to place yourself as a consultant who is an expert in one particular niche. So we teach about this, and we also talk about the exit strategy: how to leave corporate on your own terms without burning bridges, without jumping off the bridge, but building without jumping off the cliff, but building a bridge between corporate and your business and walking through that. Because one, you don't want to bend that bridge because that company that you work for, you might be going back to consult for them. So that is what we teach. And by the end of the 6 weeks program, you're going to have an exit strategy and you are going to have the 60-day milestone and what you should have by now, the 90-day goal, the first client and the first income outside corporate, the 6-month vision and where your business should be, and how to stay accountable when no one is watching. That is the most difficult part. We all have an accountability community where we check up on each other and we meet once and talk about, because if you want to they say that your network is your net worth. So you want to be with people who think along the same side as you, and that is how you grow. You will be with people who resonate with you, and that increases your vibration. So, guys, this is it. If you are, we start in June 4th, and the fee is only 497. The second cohort is gonna double. It's gonna go to 997. So this is the opportunity for you to jump in and make use of this. And I hope that this was good enough for you. And once again, thank you for being here. We are going to meet next week, same time, 11 a.m. EST, 3 p.m. GMT. And until we do so, thank you very much. Namaste.